Welcome back to another Fantasy Puck video. It's Chris, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys the best pick at every single position. Before we get started, guys, really important you listen to the intro because that's going to basically determine the entire premise of the video. We basically just formatted it in the sense that we wanted to give you guys more options outside of the second round. So the best overall player is anyone later than ADP 24. We're leaving all the top guys out of the first couple rounds because then that would literally make half the video. They'd be the best overall player. McDavid's the clear-cut #1 best player in fantasy hockey right now, and that's kind of boring. Everybody already knows that. The league winner, the only parameter for the league winner is you have to be a later ADP than the best overall player. The best value is just purely based off of ADP. These are deeper guys that we think are going just completely at a ridiculous ADP, and we think you should grab them immediately. And then for your sleeper, he must be later than ADP 156, which would be round 13. So it's a true sleeper, guys. So these are the parameters for the video. Keep that in mind as you're watching. Let's get right into it. But before we do, this is your last call for Fantasy Puck Patreon leagues. I've been saying it over the past couple videos. Spots are filling up. We're really close to being full capacity for that. So if you're interested, be sure to hit that sign up button in our Patreon. The link will be in the description down below. One-time payment. You get to play in the league for the entire year. It's just a more interactive, more competitive, more engaging fantasy hockey experience for you guys. Myself, along with all of the other FP members, will be participating in each league. So be sure to sign up for that if you guys are interested. Let's get right into the video. We're going to start things off with centerman, guys, and the best overall center outside of the top 24 ADP is Elias Pettersson of the Vancouver Canucks. Had a 100-point season last year. Again, just a great goal scorer on top of that. Solid shot volume across the board. If you count blocks in your leagues, he's also a really high volume blocking forward just behind Austin Matthews for that top spot. He's just overall great option. Gets you a ton of assists, a ton of goals, power play points as well too. Like I said, decent shot volume. You don't have to worry about him anymore. He is the clear-cut #1 center in Vancouver, and they finally started playing him like that last season. That's why you saw the big jump in his goal totals and his point totals. Shooting percentage didn't jump at all compared to last season either, so that's a really good sign. That's just him being in a better spot and getting more time on ice. Absolute slam dunk of a pick for your best overall center, Elias Pettersson. For my league winner, I have Alexander Barkov of the Florida Panthers. There is a little bit of risk involved with this pick. We know about Barkov's injury history. He's rarely ever fully healthy for the entire year, but I think if he plays 75, even 80 games, he's going to be around 100 points. He legitimately has first-round value if he were to just stay healthy. I think it's a great pick. You're getting him at a big discount because of that injury concern, and if you're betting on the fact that he's going to be healthy, or at least, like I said, play 75 games, he's going to have a great goal total, good shot volume, great point total in general, solid on the power play as well too. Just an overall absolute fantasy hockey stud if he can play over that 75 game threshold. I think it's a good bet this year. I know the injuries have been a concern in the past, but I'm willing to take that risk just for the upside, and he could outright win you your leagues if you get him in, say, like round 4, round 5. Best value, Trevor Zegras. There's a lot of centermen that have really good value in this draft. I just think that the upside that Trevor Zegras has going into next season, this is under the assumption that he's going to sign a contract. He hasn't done it yet. He's still an RFA. Training camp has just started, so I'm not too worried about it just yet. If things don't get any better within the next couple weeks, then he might be in a void just based off of him holding out on his contract. But if he plays, guys, he's going to be an absolute machine. He's going to be close to a point a game. You're getting him at such a discount. He's normally and has been the past couple seasons around a 60-point player. This is just way too early to say that Zegras has plateaued. He's so incredibly talented, and he will be around a point a game this year if he plays a full 82-game season, guys. I'm really excited for him. I'm really excited for the breakout. Make sure you grab this guy deep in your drafts. Our sleeper is Sam Bennett of the Florida Panthers as well. Another guy that kind of suffers from the same issues that Barkov has. He's just been dealing with injury history, guys, but this guy's an absolute stud when he plays. He's going so late in drafts, guys. You can get him well beyond ADP 156. Another great option at center. He hits a ton, he shoots a ton, and he usually is good in terms of those point totals as well too. So I think it's just a really good option. It's worth the risk later on. He could even be a league winner if he plays a full 82 games just because of how good his peripherals are. I'm definitely taking Bennett this year as a sleeper. Starting off our left wingers for best overall, I have Andrei Svechnikov of the Carolina Hurricanes. There were a lot of really good left wing options here, guys. I considered Panarin, who should be honestly going in the first 3 rounds. I considered Kyle Connor, same situation. He should be gone in the first 3 rounds. I decided to go with Svechnikov here for a couple reasons. Number one, if we anticipate that he's fully healthy, good to go for game 1, which those are the reports coming out of camp. He's skating with the team, he's practicing, should be good for game 1. And if he plays anywhere upwards of an 82-game season again this year, he should be around a point a game. Really high shot volume as well, and an absolute must draft in leagues that counts hits. This guy could have upwards of 180, 190 hits in a season, guys. These are OV-like numbers from a guy that you're getting a lot later. I love Svech this year. I think he's finally going to put it together. He's finally going to stay healthy, and he's finally going to have that breakout campaign of hitting over the 75-point threshold. For our league winner, we have Evander Kane, somebody, again, that suffered due to a freak accident last year. But his stats during the half season were really good. If he can manage to stay healthy, he's going to play on a line with Connor McDavid. That was what they were planning on doing last season, but it got cut short because of the injury. He's an absolute peripherals machine, very similar to Svechnikov and Brady Tkachuk in that sense, where he has a really high shot volume, really high hit volume, and I think he could honestly hover around a point a game, riding the coattails of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl in that Edmonton top 6. Really excited for him. The only thing he really lacks is power play points. We're unsure of how that's going to shape up this year with the power play. I think it's a really good option. Could be a league winner if he plays a full 82. The best value by far, and could be in the entire draft, is Jonathan Huberdeau. I'm here for the revenge tour. I just don't think a player that has been well over a point a game with a 110-point history, essentially, just suddenly evaporates into like a 60-point guy. I just don't see it happening next season. It's a new coach, more offensive-minded. They realize that they have to get this guy going if they're going to see success. He's going to be the focal point of the offense, and typically when he plays a full 82 games as well, he's usually around 90 hits, so it's a great option even in leagues that count hits. I love everything there is to do with Jonathan Huberdeau this season. Like I said, I'm here for the revenge tour. Sign me up. Our sleeper is going to be Lucas Raymond of the Detroit Red Wings. I think, honestly, he just suffered a sophomore slump last year. Very typical to see happen with second-year players. He's playing on the top line this year with Dylan Larkin and Alex DeBrincat. He's going to see so much time on ice going forward, guys. Like, I don't understand. He kind of lost his role to David Perron last year just because he was struggling, but early reports out of camp have him skating with Larkin and DeBrincat. They're going to be the top line in Detroit. He's going to just ride the coattails of those other two players, and if he can find chemistry with DeBrincat, this guy could be in for a huge season. Moving on to right wingers, our best overall player outside of ADP 24 is Timo Meier. This guy's basically like Ovechkin. He plays the right wing. He's got a crazy high shot volume, crazy high hit volume. Even if people are speculating that there's, too many mouths to feed in New Jersey, I've addressed all this before in the past videos. I don't think it's really an issue, but even if he isn't like a crazy high point total guy like we anticipate that he is going to be, he's still an absolute monster in terms of his peripherals. Should see, again, over 300 shots and 150 hits, which just makes him an insanely good category covering player. I'm all over Timo Meier this season, and I recommend you guys jump on. Similar to left wing, there were a lot of great right winger options. Cole Caulfield is my league winner pick. I've gone over the numbers. We've talked about how good of a goal scorer he is. I think there's 40 plus, 45 plus goal upside in this guy. He just needs to stay healthy. I think he's going to be in such a good spot this season, guys. We just haven't seen the breakout year yet because of those couple injuries that he's had in the past 2 seasons, but I'm confident that he'll get back to it this year. Be sure you're snagging this guy in your drafts. My best value player is Owen Tippett. Great option in leagues that counts hits. I like everything about this guy. Mike loves this guy too. We're both definitely on him. There's really no competition in Philadelphia whatsoever. Has a really high shot volume, really high hit volume, and surprisingly high block volume as well too. So he's an absolute peripherals machine. Based off what we saw last year, should still be line 1, power play 1. I'm really excited for Tippett this year for a big breakout year. Even if he doesn't hit super high point totals, he's still an absolute steal at his ADP given his peripherals. My sleeper is Seth Jarvis. I talked about previously in my breakout video how unlucky he was last season and then went on an absolute tear in the playoffs. He's going to play top 6. He's going to be with Aho again this year. I think Aho bounces back. I think Jarvis bounces back. He could have a similar breakout to what Martin Nietzsche saw the year before. I honestly think it's that caliber of breakout that could happen with Jarvis. Like I said, just got incredibly unlucky if you look at his shooting percentage, especially last season. Good shot volume as well too, had over 180 shots. Should be a solid player and definitely a sleeper that I'm going to snag in every single one of my drafts if I can. Moving on to defense, our clear-cut best overall defenseman is Roman Josi. You can make an argument for Rasmus Dahlin because he hits more, but if you count blocks in your guys' leagues, it's very clearly Roman Josi. We know about how insane Josi's shot volume is. He's going to be over a pointer game. He's been one of the best producing defensemen over the past couple seasons. He's incredibly durable. He plays 25 minutes a night. There is nothing not to like about this pick. I love everything there is to do with Roman Josi. My league winner is Moritz Seider. I think this is a great option. I think he's going low enough to where you can just draft him based off of his floor. His peripherals are that good that he can carry you through categories and just outright win them in terms of hits, blocks, and shots. And then you add the upside that I still think he has in Detroit, especially getting better offensively. I think he's an absolute steal at his ADP, even just looking at his floor. But with the upside, like I said, you're looking at a legitimate chance as a league-winning defenseman in Moritz Seider. My best value pick for defenseman is John Carlson. Freak accident happened to him last year, very similar to Evander Kane. He's normally like a 60-plus point defenseman, good block volume as well too. Gonna see power play 1 time. I just love everything there is to do with Carlson. You're getting him at a discount this year. He should, like I said, be over a 60-point defenseman. Absolute slam dunk pick. This is a great value pick anywhere in your draft, but especially at his ADP. So be sure you guys are drafting John Carlson in your guys' leagues. My sleeper pick for defenseman is Zach Werenski. He is later than ADP 156, so he does qualify in those parameters. He's just a great option, guys. He hasn't been healthy. If he stays healthy, he's in a slam dunk spot for me. Like, should be around 55, 60 points. Good shot volume, good block volume. Like, just there is nothing not to like about him. Going to be a power play 1 defenseman with Johnny Gaudreau, Patrick Laine, Adam Fantilli surrounding him. Like, there's just so many weapons in Columbus now offensively. If Werenski can stay healthy, he's going to have a great year. On to goalies. My best overall goalie is Connor Hellebuck. You're getting him in like the 3rd, maybe in 4th round. Just so solid of a goaltender. Had a 920 last year with 37 wins. People are worried about the Jets, you know, selling off with Scheifele, maybe selling off with Ehlers as well too. Those concerns are justifiable, but I think if you look at Connor Hellebuck's seasons over the past 3 years, he's shown that he's one of the most consistent, most dynamic goaltenders in the National Hockey League. There's really nothing to worry about with this guy. And if he gets traded to New Jersey, he could be the goaltender #1 going into next season. Who knows what's going to happen trade-wise, but regardless of where he is, he's going to be a very safe, a very good goaltender for you. My league winner is Jacob Markstrom. He's going super late in drafts. It's a very similar situation to Jonathan Huberdeau. I just don't see how he's going to be as bad as he was last year, unless he's really just fallen off as a goaltender. I think he's just an absolute league winner, given his ADP, given the fact that, you know, he was a Vezina goalie the year before as well, too, with a 922 save percentage. I'm expecting him to get back to better numbers this year. Crazy high volume as well, too. Everything you want out of a goaltender. I think it's a great pick. You should be drafting this guy as soon as you can in drafts, as he could be, like I said, a league winner. My best value pick for goaltenders is Cam Talbot. He's going much later than round 13. You can get him late in your guys' drafts, and you're essentially drafting the starting goaltender for what should be a top 3 team in their division in the LA Kings. He hasn't really seen a full starters volume in a little bit, as he split time last year in Ottawa and the year before in Minnesota. but he's typically in the past couple seasons, outside of the last year's struggles in Ottawa, been a 9-15, 9-10 goaltender. So I'm really excited for Talbot this year. You're getting him at great value. Like I said, you can get him super deep in drafts. You're getting a starting goaltender on a very good team. And finally, guys, my sleeper pick is Spencer Knight of the Florida Panthers. I've been trying to keep this guy quiet because I don't want to, like, I don't want people to take him. I'm so excited for this guy. I think he's going to be a league winner. We saw that he entered the player assistance program last season because of his OCD, and it's something that he's actively working towards. I think if he's healthy and he's good to go in camp, which all signs point forward as they are, he could be a league winner. I think he legitimately has the best chance to steal a starting goaltending spot out of anybody in the National Hockey League. We've seen in the past that he's talented enough to be a starting goaltender as well, too, when he's needed to be called upon in Florida. I'm just so excited for the upside this guy has. He's basically going undrafted, and he's just one of my favorite picks this year for fantasy hockey. So I'm pushing all my chips in on Spencer Knight as my big league winning sleeper this season. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button as well. We have so much more content coming for you guys. Leading up to fantasy hockey, training camp is just starting off now, so we have a lot of intel already. Be sure you're following us on Twitter and all of our other social medias for live updates on what's happening in camp. But that's going to do it for me in this video, guys. Have yourselves a fantastic rest of the day.